Right now at 10, a deadly shooting at an East Texas hotel. One man is dead and investigators are now closing in on a suspect. We bring you the latest. A day at the lake ends in tragedy when a man goes underwater and never resurfaces. We're tracking the latest details on what happened at Lake Hawkins as the investigation continues. 250 years old. From East Texas to across the country, we're taking you inside the 4th of July celebrations, lighting up the nation's biggest birthday yet.
And rain in East Texas falling apart, but we'll be watching for some storms in Oklahoma, maybe bringing some rumbles of thunder overnight. Close look at your forecast coming up on East Texas News Weekend.
Caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching East Texas News Weekend.
Good evening, East Texas. Happy Independence Day. I'm Brooke Deering, and Gianni Wendell has the night off. East Texas Museum is joining in on America's 250th birthday celebration. Visitors to the American Freedom Museum in Bullard were greeted with a cannon firing and flags flown across history. East Texas News Weekend's Michael Richardson reports.
Inside the American Freedom Museum in Bullard is a message. You are about to embark on a 250-year journey. The museum celebrated the 250-year milestone today with free admission and a cannon firing. Before the nation settled on the Stars and Stripes flown today, there were several flags tied to American history. Michael Hurley, with the Sons of the American Revolution, felt it was important to show how the country was learning its identity.
They were crawling in their infancy, learning what their flag was going to look like, how the troops were going to dress.
The American Freedom Museum lies on the campus of the Brook Hill School, where Stephen DeMent is founder.
The fact that we've reached this milestone shows that our government, the people's government, is strong and will exist forever.
Visitors could learn all about American history, from the Revolutionary War to modern commanders-in-chief. And in a section on the Vietnam War, folks could hear from veterans, including Richard Schmidt, who served as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force.
I think it's critically important for people to understand that freedom isn't free. We have to be able to tell people that what goes on in the world is not a nice place, and it's critically important for them to understand our history.
The American Freedom Museum is looking to remember what came before as the United States looks beyond 250 years. Michael Richardson, East Texas News Weekend.
The American Freedom Museum is open to the public on Saturdays. This month, folks can also come in on Wednesdays. Well, folks, hopefully you were able to stay cool for those 4th of July barbecues and fireworks shows. Luckily, some rain might be on the way to cool you off. Let's get over to the First Alert Weather Center with meteorologist Cody Gottschalk. Cody, tell us more about those rain chances.
Yeah, Brooke, over the next, few hours, we'll be seeing if some of those showers or thunderstorms in Oklahoma can hold together, maybe bring some overnight rain our way, and then another round of showers and thunderstorms possible tomorrow as well. So live Doppler radar, of course, showing you quiet conditions. Earlier this afternoon and evening, we had a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms to help out temperatures just a little bit. Quick look at some of our weather watchers. Here we had just 1/4 of an inch in Judson. Nice little thunderstorm earlier today, but Marty and Yanis said at one point in time this afternoon he reached, I think it was 101 degrees. Thankfully cooled off to 89 degrees, 82 in Pollock, 82 in San Augustine, 81 in Nacogdoches as well. So again, live Doppler radar for now showing fairly quiet conditions, but as we look up to the north, you can see, thankfully, some weakening thunderstorms, but a whole line currently is severe warned. As these storms continue to get closer to the Red River, well, they could still bring some gusty winds, some overnight thunder, and then we may see a secondary round of thunderstorms by tomorrow afternoon. We'll take a close look at Futurecast to help you plan around it all to round out this holiday weekend coming up a little bit later. Brooke.
Thanks so much, Cody.
Yeah.
New tonight, a Tyler man is dead following a shooting this morning at an East Texas hotel. Tyler spokesperson Andy Urbaugh says officers responded to the Relax Inn on East Gentry Parkway at around 4 a.m. after receiving reports of a shooting. Investigators have identified a possible suspect who is now being interviewed. Urbaugh says a murder warrant is pending and that the shooting was not random. Police have not confirmed the victim's identity. Also new tonight, rescuers have recovered the body of a man who drowned earlier today at Lake Hawkins. Texas game wardens say they were called around 1:30 after a 27-year-old man went underwater in a designated swim area at Lake Hawkins and never resurfaced. According to game warden Derek Spitzer, witnesses were able to direct responders to the area where he was last seen. Crews initially used sonar in the search, with a dive team joining to assist. Authorities say the man's body was recovered around 5 p.m. and his identity has not yet been released. Lake Hawkins Beach has since reopened and will continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. Over in Louisiana, a man drowns trying to rescue his grandchild after she fell into a lake in Covington. The man was identified and he worked for the city's Department of Cultural Arts and Events. Sonata McCall has more.
Him to actually move up into that threshold into the eyes of the community, but that was a big deal. And
Chris Rushing would have been seeing his hard work come to life for Friday's 4th of July festivities in Covington.
It was never, oh, do I have to do that? It was, how can I help or how can I make this better? And he will be missed.
The department's executive director described Rushing, the city's cultural arts and events logistic coordinator, as a man driven by service and family, saying those values guided his actions, even during Wednesday's tragic incident. According to St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to Lake Road in Lacombe after a man went underwater and did not come back up. Witnesses say a child fell into the water and a male relative, who we now know was Rushing, jumped in to help. When he started having trouble, a woman also jumped in and was able to get the child to safety. Rushing disappeared beneath the water and fire crews pulled him out and tried to save his life, but he died at the hospital.
If you know certain people are stronger swimmers than others, maybe have that person as a designated safety person, and that way they can reach that person in a safe manner.
Those close to Rushing confirmed his identity, and we later confirmed the child was his young granddaughter.
he felt like he needed to act in that moment. He is the quiet, unassuming hero that we all think we can be, but he was.
District D Councilman Jimmy Inman says he knew the Rushing family well.
Would see him, and it was, a hug, not a handshake. It was sincere and heartfelt, and just a smile that was radiant.
Rushing's body was turned over to the coroner's office. The sheriff's office said an autopsy is pending, but believe it was an accidental drowning. Now to an update on the Zavala water outage. City officials posted on Facebook today that water service has been restored and is back on. This comes after residents went 3 days without a reliable water supply. A disaster declaration was signed Thursday by Mayor Pam Hooks as crews work to locate and repair multiple leaks believed to be contributing to the issue. Officials say repairs will continue along with monitoring to make sure the system is working properly. And the city of Zavala stating, quote, "We ask all residents to please conserve water while crews continue working on the system. If you experience any water loss, low water pressure, or other water-related issues, please notify the city as soon as possible so we can address them." Today, dozens gathered at the Park of East Texas for the Tyler Fireworks Festival. Folks lined up for music, a flyover from the Texas V-Tails, and fireworks later in the night. To commemorate America's 250th birthday, this year marked a shift from Lindsay Park, where the event has been held in the past. Minty Chambers with the East Texas State Fair discusses why the change was necessary.
With it being the 250th year of America, we wanted to go big and get a bigger space, but of course it's already a great turnout, and we're super excited, and so next year we're just going to keep it going.
And admission was free to the public. And happening now, the fireworks and freedom celebration at the Longview Convention Complex ended with a bang. East Texans in Longview and Marshall made the most of America's milestone birthday. East Texas News Weekends' Andrew Culver shows how the region marked the moment.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
The wait is over. Our nation officially looks back on 250 years. People from all over East Texas made their way to Longview to celebrate.
We out here enjoying the festivities and seeing good people.
We're just proud to be Americans.
The city's big event held live music, a hot dog eating contest,
G56,
and an air-conditioned building to cool off. A wide range of vendor booths filled the convention center. People brought their classic and patriotic-themed cars to show off to those passing by.
I mean, I could be at the lake or anywhere else, but I'd rather be here, you know, and celebrate the 250th year.
Harrison County held its own set of events, including live music and a drone show at the historic downtown square in Marshall. Madison Campbell lives in West Virginia and traveled 17 hours to see her dad in Marshall.
You see all walks of life coming together today, and especially with family, it's great to see everyone just unite and celebrate.
Some people took a moment to reflect on 250 years and what comes next.
The founders, I guess, they didn't think it would be like this, but exceed more. And we can learn more from now. We don't know what the next 50 years may bring.
We were just talking about how 250 years seems like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just a drop in the bucket. You know, we're a fairly young nation, but I believe the greatest nation on earth.
Andrew Culver, East Texas News Weekend.
Well, it sure looks like it was a lot of fun. Event organizers in Longview said they expected well over 10,000 people at the convention complex. An East Texas car club teamed up with the Tyler Restaurant to honor America's 250th birthday. There were dozens of cars outside Bubba's 33 as part of the car show. An East Texas military vehicle preservation organization also had a booth organized by the Raceway Muscle Car Club. The event included a military flyover, live music, and other activities.
This is what it's about, reminding Americans that our freedom is not free. It is not.
Proceeds from the event benefit the nonprofit Homes for Our Troops. History books stepped off the page today in Nacogdoches. We'll show you the patriotic event bringing America's past to life in just 60 seconds. The Nacogdoches Federation of Women's Clubs invited the community to the old historic university building to celebrate America 250 with an interactive twist. Over 150 people came out today to learn about the history of the Star-Spangled Banner from the people who lived it themselves. East Texas News Weekend's Olivia Hartpence shares the reenactment event and the meaning behind their message.
Freedom rung in Nacogdoches this morning during the Federation of Women Club's Stars, Stripes, and Star-Spangled Banner event. Sam Houston, Betsy Ross, and more came back to life today to tell their stories about the Star-Spangled Banner. Rachel Underwood, the former president of the Nacogdoches Women's Federation, says they wanted to share a story that is often forgotten.
There's a lot of information that's given on the Declaration of Independence, but the Star-Spangled Banner as our national anthem doesn't get it, I don't think, as much attention.
So she gathered the community.
We had a wonderful turnout today. We were concerned because it was hot. We're just so blessed to have over 150 people here today
to share the story in a different way. And she says events like this will help keep American history alive for generations to come.
Nacogdoches is a very historic town, and we need to instill Texas history and U.S. history. And we have buildings like this that was built during the Republic of Texas that needs to be showcased, and the historical influence really instilled in the children.
So whether it was Mary Pickersgill sharing the story about how her and her team had sewed 2 flags that were so big it led her to rent out a nearby brewery, or how Francis Scott King ended up creating the national anthem set to an old English drinking song, people of all ages came out to celebrate America's future, honoring and learning about America's past.
God bless Nacogdoches, God bless Texas, and God bless the United States of America.
Olivia Hartpence, East Texas News Weekend.
Wise words. Underwood says that even though America 250 is wrapping up, the history lessons shared today don't have to. Their Star-Spangled Banner exhibit is still on display in the old university building in Nacogdoches, and they encourage everyone to come by and learn a little more about American and Texas history. And across America, millions are celebrating the big birthday in their own way. From Georgia to Michigan, you can see there crowds are still turning out, while in New York Harbor, the tall ships sail in. In Washington, military flyovers lit up the National Mall, and the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest kept its holiday tradition going.
I knew I was going to be able to get the win, but I knew also early I wasn't going to break the record, so I just had to stay calm, don't push things, don't make any big mistakes.
In Virginia, dozens became new U.S. citizens at Thomas Jefferson's historical home. On the National Mall tonight, celebrations continue with flyovers, performances, and the speech from President Trump ahead of a massive fireworks show to close out Independence Day. Well, it feels like we're always inching towards those triple digits here in East Texas. Cody, it's getting hot.
Brooke, we got close. A few spots, at least from our actual reporting sites, we're only about a couple degrees. Though we're not even talking about the heat index, which is way over 100. We do have more heat on the way, but also the chance for some rain. We'll talk about it coming up. But first, let's take a look outside with your Roberts & Roberts Neighborhood WeatherNet site. We're in Mount Pleasant, one of our cooler spots this evening at 77 degrees after a hot high of 98 degrees.
First Alert Weather is sponsored by Texas Spine and Joint Urgent Care Longview.
Hey, good evening, East Texas. It's weird saying that, being on the morning show for so long. All right, let's take a look at these temperatures across East Texas. It was a pretty hot day. Highs sat anywhere from the mid-90s in most locations. A few of you, although, saw some upper 90s. Now, we also had some showers and a few thunderstorms as we went from the late afternoon and early evening hours. So that is actually why some of our northeastern counties are trending a little cooler. 75 in Jefferson, 74 for Marshall. There you go, 72 in Jefferson now, 77 in Longview, but 86 in Tyler. It's still 91 degrees in DFW, but currently 81 degrees in Nacogdoches and 83 in Lufkin. So still a little on the warm side as it's finally dark enough for you to enjoy those fireworks. We are at least trending dry for now, though. A little easier to have some fun outside for our 4th of July. But again, we're looking up to the north as, thankfully, and the key word here, weakening thunderstorms are now pushing further to the south through central parts of Oklahoma. They'll continue to get closer to the Red River. The big question is how much will hold together enough to bring some rain to some of our northern counties tonight. We'll have that coming up in just a second. I do want to point out, though, I don't know if that's Tuesday, that's supposed to be tomorrow, but this is the Day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and it shows an opportunity for a few stronger thunderstorms during tomorrow afternoon. With these setups, it's typically some stronger thunderstorm winds in addition to some very heavy rains. Again, not Tuesday, tomorrow. So let's give you a timeline for tonight and tomorrow to help you plan around it all so we can still enjoy this final end to the holiday weekend. After midnight tonight, likely going throughout the pre-dawn morning hours of your Sunday, this line has been moving at a pretty decent clip, so we'll go more 2-3 a.m. as storms will try to make their way toward that I-30 corridor if they don't completely collapse before they even make it into East Texas, and then that would continue to weaken and fall apart as we go through the final pre-dawn morning hours of your Sunday morning. So heading out early for church or any sort of early morning plans, you may see some wet roads for some of those northern zones, but beyond that, I don't think we'll have too many other impacts beyond that. Now, afternoon of your Sunday, we want to keep in mind there will be the possibility for some of those pop-up thunderstorms that we mentioned that may bring a low-end severe chance for some gusty winds and some very heavy rainfall. So you want to be mindful of that. I'm sure a lot of people getting back on the roads, heading back home after this long holiday weekend. So if doing so, just keep in mind you may hit some very heavy rainfall and some low visibilities Sunday afternoon. That looks to fall apart, though, pretty quickly Sunday evening. And then we get to Monday and, well, we could see a similar round of pop-up showers and thunderstorms, maybe even a bit more focused to deep East Texas within that coverage. So as we carry over into tomorrow, your Sunday is off to a pretty muggy start. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, highs back in the mid 90s with that heat index at or above 100 degrees, as if you don't get that cooling rain. But then, of course, we get to the next couple of days. Yeah, staying in the mid 90s at first, but as soon as those rain chances begin to dwindle, that heat really turns back on. Mid to upper 90s, possible again by the end of this week. So maybe you'll win that rain lottery, but most of us won't, Brooke.
Right. Hopefully people got their pool day in today.
I hope so.
Because that rain is coming. Thanks so much, Cody. The United States men's national team are gearing up for their round of 16 match against Belgium on Monday. Hear how players are prepping on America's birthday and more. Up next in sports.
East Texas Sports, sponsored by Kilgore College. Put KC to work for you.
Well,
Well, good evening, East Texas. Happy 4th of July. I'm Brian Smith, and welcome into sports. On America's 250th birthday, it's come to expect a bit of an extra shot of patriotism all throughout the country, and I cannot imagine a better place to start than Coney Island in New York. The 2026 Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest featuring the American legend Joey Chestnut. He's going for title number 18 here today. And of course, Joey Jaws coming away unrivaled. The only time it was close was at the very start. 66 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes for Chestnut as he takes home the belt. Certainly a loop or two bigger than what he started with today for the 18th time. The World Cup is still going strong with the round of 16 kicking off here today. No United States quite yet, though. The men's national team set to face Belgium here in Seattle on Monday at 7 p.m. And even though today is America's 250th birthday, the focus is still primed on the pitch for these footballers.
They are inconsistent this tournament, but we still know that they have qualities, They have good players, and it's always going to be a difficult game against Belgium. Everybody is prepared. Every game, knockout stage especially, is going to be really difficult, for us, but also for them. So, we're really motivated, and we have a good momentum.
With that, some unfortunate news out of Wimbledon earlier today. The highly anticipated return of the Williams sisters on the court is over, with Serena dropping out due to a knee injury suffered during her singles match against Maya Joint. The duo hadn't played together since 2016, and it looks like we'll have to wait just a little bit longer to see the two of the best competing alongside each other again. The John Deere Classic continues in Illinois today, and it's been a party at the top. Lucas Glover came into today in solo first at 14 under, but Zach Blair was blazing up to the top spot until this double bogey on the 11th to bring him back down to a tie for first at 15 under. He would go on to finish in a tie for second at that score, and then sitting there right next to him is Jackson Super. Back-to-back birdies on 13 and 14 to get to that 15 under, and that's where he would sit. And then a weather delay did cause some problems, but it's a tie at the top, heading into the clubhouse with Lucas Glover and Lee Hodges both at 16 under. And capping things off here on this wonderful Independence Day, the Rangers and Tigers out at Globe Life. First inning for the Tigers at the plate, and Riley Green mashing a 2-run home run to give Detroit a 2-0 lead. Next inning, Tigers with 2 on. Ben Malgary hitting a weak grounder to short, but it'll score a run. Tigers taking a 3-0 lead, and that's all the scoring needed on both sides. 7 straight frames without a run as Detroit blanks the Rangers 3-0. Well, that'll wrap up sports here on the most important date in American history. Stay safe, enjoy your night responsibly, and as always, make it a great one.
Thank you, Ryan. It's time to give away our Red Zone Stadium chair. This week's winner is Veronica Dearman of Rusk. Congratulations, Veronica. And to enter to win your own, just click on Chair Giveaway in the Red Zone app. We'll be right back.
Alrighty, friends, here's another look at a live Doppler radar. Pretty quiet for now, but of course we do have those weakening thunderstorms pushing south through Oklahoma. If they can hold together, you may hear some rumbles of thunder overnight. No real severe threats expected, but some brief heavy rains, some slightly gusty winds, just something you'll be mindful of. Could see some wet roads tomorrow morning. Another round of pop-up showers and thunderstorms expected tomorrow afternoon as well. So keep an eye on that First Alert weather app, and we'll keep you updated to round out this holiday weekend.
Thanks so much, Cody. And thank you for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 8 for Good Morning East Texas. Until then, you can find the very latest news, weather, and sports 24/7 on KLTV.com and KTRE.com. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Your news wherever you are. Sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union. This week's Pet of the Week is Ginger. Submit your pet's photo on the Pet Project app today. If you missed any part of this newscast or would like to see it again, you can find it right now in your preferred connected TV device.